This fall,
I am not giving the city over to Penguin.
Gotham moves to Thursday.
I can make a difference, Alfred. I know I can. Gotham needs more people who are willing to fight for her.
There is time for masks, and there is a time for Bruce Wayne.
I do the dirty work. Allow me to clean this city up.
It's dangerous. You are engaging villains.
I feel more alive than I've ever felt before.
Gotham season premiere Thursday, September 21st on Fox.
What's going on, guys? So I know it's been a while since I posted a video. We've been doing a lot of stuff over on the Twitch channel. But yeah, I am here to do a Gotham freaking season 4 breakdown of the new trailer they dropped. And I want to say I usually go in order of the trailer and be like, this is this and that. It's going to be a little different with this one because there are some things that connect differently, and I kind of just want to point them out instead of going, you know, in order, as we should say. But let's go ahead and jump into this, because some people were happy with this trailer and other people were not so happy with the ending of it. And at first, we freaking start off by seeing, you know, Gordon and Penguin, like, and Gordon saying that he's like, I'm gonna freaking not let Penguin take over the city, and that's what we see right here. And what I want to point out right here with Penguin looking like, oh, all like whatever, you see two people in the background that look like they are from like the government, or they're part of the military or something like that, because that one guy looks very fancy with, I don't want to say he's part of any particular, you know, government group, because I don't know all of that shit. But it does look like they are part of, like, you know, maybe these guys are coming to Penguin like, hey, something's going on, we need your help. Because I don't know why Penguin would be, you know, in cahoots with anybody from the military. The reason I say that is because with this other scene that has Penguin where he looks like he's really fired up, he says, allow me to clean this city up. And he's wearing the exact same suit as in that first scene I showed you guys. So I think this is all in the same scene, and it's actually him talking to the military, and they're probably like, hey, Gotham's gotten really bad. We know that you're able to control these things. Like, can you help us out? I think something along those lines are going to be happening, or they're going to be having a discussion with Penguin because maybe he's a former mayor, something like that, and he's going to throw out the idea of like, hey, let me clean this city up. This is my city. I know how to make things work. This is definitely like my kind of thing. And maybe the government's going to go along with it. And maybe that is also why Gordon's all like, I'm not going to hand this city over to Penguin, because he knows Penguin is a crazy guy that will, you know, do everything for his own good. Let's just jump into the next thing that everybody's talking about with this scene, where it looks like Lucius is giving Bruce Wayne his suit for the very first time. This, you know, vigilante suit that he's going to be wearing. It's not the bat suit, but, you know, it just makes sense that Lucius is giving it to him, because we know that Lucius is the one that gives Bruce all of this stuff, like in the comic books, or, you know, depending on what you're reading, he gets a lot of his freaking, you know, devices and gadgets from Lucius Fox. So, of course, it just makes perfect sense that he's getting it from him. And you can see on Bruce's face, he's cutting stuff, so I'm going to assume that after, I should say before this scene, Alfred's going to have a talk with Bruce, and he's going to find out that he's been going out, getting into all these fights, saving people's lives and doing all this stuff, and that is where Bruce is probably going to be in that other scene where he's like, I can make a difference, Alfred, blah, 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 like, you know, Gotham City needs a, you know, person that's going to fight for her, which he just gave the city a gender, and we're trying to move past this, Bruce. You're over here freaking genderizing everything. Jesus. Talk about the suit at the end of the video, but moving on, like I said, we saw him talking to Alfred, you know, at the manor and stuff like that, and he's talking about like, oh yeah, you know, this and that, I mean, you know, Alfred, I gotta make a difference, all that jazz. And we see this one scene right here of Bruce putting on, you know, his hoodie and stuff, you know, standing over the city on the buildings, you know, very Batman-like. And we see him still putting on this newer kind of mask, not the mask that he gets from Lucius, but he puts on like this felt kind of mask that kind of has like a nose thing. I feel like you can buy these on Amazon. But you see him put on the hood, and he's gonna do some vigilante stuff. And it's kind of like what we saw at the end of Season 3. Jump over a scene and we see Bruce looking at people through a windshield like they're breaking into something or they're packing some stuff up. So, you know, that's kind of what he's going to be doing. He's going to be looking, he's going to be prowling on Gotham, very Batman-like, trying to find criminals and go ahead and taking them down. There's this scene jumping off a building. It could be maybe he's going to go fight those guys that are breaking into it, or he's just going to fight some other people, because we've seen him fight a whole bunch of people in previous trailers. But I do also want to point out, since Bruce is still wearing his jacket and his hoodie and everything, remember, there is that scene in the previous trailer where he's all scared because all the cops show up. Now, we don't know if he's going to be scared because of fear toxin. It could be possible that he stumbles upon, you know, freaking Scarecrow's whole situation, and maybe he gets doused with fear toxin, so he's scared when the police show up. Or it could just be that he got caught, and maybe after he gets caught, that is how Alfred finds out, because he has to call Alfred and be like, hey Alfred, I'm in prison, can you come get me? And, you know, maybe that's when the whole discussions about the vigilanteism starts, and maybe Alfred talks to Lucius, and he gets something built for him. Now, we do have this clip right here of Alfred saying there is a time for masks, and there is a time for Bruce Wayne. And one thing we heard about Season 4 is that Bruce is going to become more of that playboy persona. I feel like we hear that every season, but I think this time around he's going to have two split personalities now, because he is going to be doing the vigilante stuff. So we might see more of that party boy Bruce Wayne, or maybe not party boy, but more of the Bruce Wayne, look, I do things during the day and I spend my money, and then at night he's going to be doing his vigilante stuff, which I believe is his more true personality. So I think that's kind of what Alfred is instilling in him during this scene. Then we have this scene of Alfred saying it's dangerous, you're engaging villains, and Bruce, you know, saying I felt more alive than I ever have before, all that kind of shit, you know. And yeah, that's what we can expect. There's going to be a lot of conflict between Alfred and Bruce at the start of this, because Bruce is going to just, as he always does, feels like he knows best, and Alfred's going to be like, bitch, I'll kick your ass right now. Now, I do want to point out these two random scenes of Zsasz pulling a gun on somebody, and he pulls it kind of frantically, so I don't know if he's surprised by somebody else that has guns, and he's just like, oh shit. Or what if Zsasz actually got hit with fear toxin, because everybody else in the background seems kind of chill, and maybe they're just freaking out that, like, Zsasz is freaking out. So I don't know, I'm really interested to see what's happening here, or who could be freaking Zsasz out for him to pull out his gun so quickly. And then it's followed by the Scarecrow just flying through an actual hallway, so maybe it is Zsasz seeing a Scarecrow guy coming after him. He's like, oh shit, and he's gonna start firing. So I don't know. I want to point out that the rooms are different in those two scenes. I don't think that Scarecrow is coming after Zsasz, but it could be something like that. Next up, there's this little fighting montage, and if you don't pay attention close enough, it's actually Bruce and Selina in separate scenes fighting it. At first, I thought this was just Selina kicking everybody's ass, but you can tell right here it's actually Bruce fighting some guys, and then it swings into Selina fighting some guys. And I believe this Selina kicking ass is from the previous trailer that we saw and we talked about, so I don't think that's anything new for her, and Bruce's might be the same thing from the last trailer as well. Now, this part is one that I really wanted to talk about, and that is Ivy flipping this switch. Now, some people might not think that's anything, but I think this could be the possible turning point for Ivy to get away from Penguin, and she could be flipping this switch, because if you look at her, when she flips that switch, she's all like, bitch, you wronged me, okay, and I'm gonna get you back. Like, that's the kind of freaking facial expression she has on her face, and she's looking gorgeous, by the way. But when she flips this switch, I think it might be the thing that turns off Nigma from staying in the ice. I think Ivy might be the one to actually free Nigma from the whole frozen eternity that he's in, to piss off Penguin, because maybe Penguin pissed her off, or maybe said, like, we're not equals, or something along those lines. And I think that's what's going to happen here. There's this quick little scene of Bruce walking out of that little bank thing we talked about from the previous trailer, and he has something in his hand, so maybe he's got some information about somebody he's trying to go after. I don't know, it just seems like a cool little scene of him walking out of these flickering lights, which that quickly moves over to this Nigma scene right here, where it shows Nigma real quick, and he looks all frosty, and he's not in the actual block of ice. This could be a fear toxin moment. And remember, in the last trailer that I talked about, there was this one room it seemed like everybody was in. They could be at the Iceberg Lounge, which it might totally be. What if everybody, I'm talking about like Bruce, Alfred, you know, Tabitha, Nigma, or not necessarily Nigma, but Penguin, everybody's in this place, right? And they get doused with fear toxins, so they're all freaking out. Remember when Tabitha sees Barbara? What if that is like a hallucination? Or it might actually be her, to be honest. But what if she's seeing Barbara because she killed her, she feels bad, and that's her like worst nightmare? Then we see this frosty Nigma, so I'm going to assume that Penguin's under the fear toxin, and his worst nightmare is Riddler coming back. Okay, the reason why I say Tabitha might see Barbara is because the reason why I say the Tabitha thing is because she holds up her gun right here, and I believe this scene was in the previous trailer, and we saw Barbara follow right after that. So maybe she's seeing her like a hallucination, maybe she's not. And the final scene is of Bruce putting on the face of the cow or helmet or whatever you want to call it, because some people are like, God, the producer said we weren't getting a cow, and he's totally got a cow now. What's going on? So some people can call it a helmet. I don't really know what you want to call about it. It basically looks like Batman without the freaking, you know, little pointy ears. Although it does look like the back of the cow seems more padded and the face is more like solid. But I don't personally like the jacket. I mean, the cow's okay, I get it. You know, they're not going to give him the ears or anything like that, so I totally understand the cow and you got to protect yourself somehow. The jacket looks very freaking Michelin Man, and I made a joke about this on Twitter, but I don't like the freaking, you know, rolly pads and stuff like that. I think they totally could have had just like a sleek jacket with armor plates inside of the jacket, which would have protected him. I don't really know what's going on here, and I believe I saw something else, I'm not too sure. It might have been in the other clip in the trailer, but the padding's only like right here for like the breastplate and the arms, and then the rest is just flat. Like, you should have kept everything flat. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of the jacket. The cow doesn't bother me too much. I know some people hated that. I more so don't like the jacket, and the gloves look kind of bulky too. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, but at the same time, like, we're not gonna get the bat suit right away, so you gotta have a bunch of prototypes, and hopefully throughout the season we're gonna see Bruce talking to Lucius and be like, hey, the gloves are, you know, I need more flexibility, or like, there's not enough padding here, or maybe we need to be sleeker, I need to move better. Hopefully we'll see that kind of stuff like we did in, you know, the Dark Knight movie, where Bruce was talking about how he wanted to turn his head in there. And, you know, maybe we'll see a new version of this as the season goes along, or if we do get a season 5, he'll get a better version in season 5. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what we see. I know that's the biggest thing everybody was talking about. Everybody's been making some kind of jokes about it, but I don't hate it, but I'm not going to say I really like it either. I just want to see how it looks when he's fighting and he's in action, doing a bunch of kind of things. But yeah, I do want to know what you guys think about this trailer. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, don't forget, if you ever want to support this channel, you can check out the Patreon like these awesome people did, or you can go over to the Twitch channel where we've been hanging out a lot and give us some support there. You can hit the follow, and if you want to support us there, you can also do some subscriptions if you want to and get some really cool things. Or you can always do the OG thing and give this video a thumbs up and share it with all of your Gotham buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bam!